Welcome to the Community Collective Podcast, a flip-flop agent production in collaboration with the Davison Area Chamber of Commerce. I am your host, Johnny B. Good. Welcome back to another episode of the Community Collective Podcast. I am one of the amazing hosts of this here pod, Johnny B. Good, with Remax Edge, lovingly referred to as the flip-flop agent. Thankfully, today, I am joined by one of the best co-hosts a guy could ask for, Mr. Travis Howell. Mr. Howell, how are you doing today, my friend?
I am doing really good. It has been a nice day of getting some work done on upcoming events and lunches for the chamber, which is always an exciting thing, just getting organized and looking at it.
You're the only guy I know that's going to say, I get excited about getting organized. But you know what? You're the yin to my yang. You're my peanut butter to my jelly, whatever it takes, man. It takes two to tango. So I'm glad I got you here with me.
That is right. I am excited to be on here today. We have been working really hard on having a lot of guests that are involved in different areas in our community and especially with the chamber. So today I have Davison Area Chamber Ambassador Meloney. I,
Yes.
I knew it was going to happen. I knew it. So I called it before. I am
Okay.
so
The
glad.
funniest thing is Travis is trying to make sure he gets it right. So pre-recording, he asked Melanie, how do I pronounce your last name? And yet here we sit. All of this is staying in the Travis. I am not editing this out.
It just shows that I am a person who makes mistakes and am willing to admit it. Good.
That makes you
Absolutely.
normal.
Absolutely.
That's right. Melanie, I am so glad to have you on the podcast today. I know we've gotten to chat at all of our chamber lunches and events and have really enjoyed getting to know you. And I'm excited about this. This is something that gives our listeners and our community a chance to learn more about the different roles in the chamber. And you play a really important one as one of the Davison Area Chamber's ambassadors. But first, the question that we always like to start off with is tell us a little bit about yourself. What is your background?
Certainly. First, thank you for having me here today. I appreciate it. So I began working in the pharmaceutical industry in 2000 as a co-op student when I was in high school. I went full time in 2008 and then recently transitioned in 20 to healthcare. Outside of that, I serve as a board member for the Clio Center for the Arts and work part time as an art teacher there.
That is amazing. So, do you have a background in art, or do you just say, this is for me and I have a passion for it? And because Clio, that's just a little bit of a drive from us, which is not bad at all. So, tell us a little bit more about that. What are you doing
Certainly.
up there?
Okay. So what I decided to do was I knew one of the board members up there and she was looking for additional people to join the organization. As a result, she originally said, "Hey, would you like to teach my toddler in children's classes?" Because she knows I have a son who's going to be 3 next month. And that somehow progressed into, "I think you should join the board since you have a business degree." And so it
Yeah.
developed quickly. But we do offer a lot of different classes up there. So we have pottery, we have photography, arts and crafts, class fusing, painting, pouring, as well as traditional painting. And then we also have senior classes, special need, and homeschooling classes, in addition to hosting birthday parties and private events. So if you wanted to paint windows, you could paint windows and drink some wine while you're there.
So now fill me in. I am your least artistic person you'll ever meet. I feel like when I was in high school and the art teacher said, all right, we're going to do a painting today of something outside. I was the kid that said, I painted a log cabin in a snowstorm, and that meant I just used white paint and said it was a blizzard. So I am not
I
creative
like
in this
it.
area. So fill me in on these classes that are offered. Now, are they for different levels? So I sign up for a pottery class, and it's okay if I try to make a vase and it looks like an ashtray or something like that instead. But like, yeah, are there different level classes? Like you say, hey, I'm a beginner, I'm an expert, or how does that work?
There are different level classes that you can take. And another good thing that we offer is like date nights. So if you wanted to take your wife on a nice date
Oh,
night, you guys could go up there and make a craft. So a lot of people like to do the glass fusing as a date night or the painting classes. The window ones they also enjoy because those ones are special events that normally include wine. You can bring your own wine to those ones. So it's a nice opportunity to just spend some time with your significant other. And maybe one of you has really great artistic skills and one not so much. The teacher is there to help the one who doesn't have maybe as great of skills and likes to.
My wife is the artistic, talented person in our household. It sounds like it'd be one of those ones where I need baby steps where she could just jump in. Now, if people are interested in doing one of these classes, how do they find out about them, Melanie? How do they say, "Oh, I want that date night," or "I want to take someone or my child to go sign for this class"? How do they find out more about this?
So you can go to the website. It's the Clio Center for the Arts Inc. when you look on Google, and it is clioart.net is the website you'll use. And they have varying evening and day classes. So if you have children that are maybe doing the homeschool program, you can get them involved and they can do classes during the day. Or if maybe you have small little ones, like I have my little toddler, he's going to go and he's going to take classes 2 days a month on Thursdays that are geared specifically towards toddlers so that they can develop their artistic skills.
That's great. And I think for us, we were called the Davison Area Chamber, but we are all about communities working together. So Clio is not that far away. It's a nice, easy drive. Go sign up for
It
some art
is.
classes and enjoy yourselves and be creative no matter what level you're at. So now, Melanie, the one way we've really got to know more about you, and I'm really fascinated for people to hear this too. What got you interested in being part of the Davison Area Chamber?
So that was Kathy. Kathy is another ambassador with the Chamber of Commerce. I went into Harris Eye Care to pick up some contacts one day, and I was telling her about a fleece party I had had last year with my friends and family to make blankets for the local hospital and how we wanted to donate them. And she said, "Oh my goodness, you need to come join me." Started telling me all about the chamber and your fleece and thank you project that you started last year. And so that really got me interested because I was an employee that was working in office. But when I transitioned to a remote environment in 2020, I missed that. I missed doing those fundraising activities and the volunteer events. And so she thought this would be a perfect fit for me to get involved, and it has been. I've completely loved it. And the ability to get back and give back to others in the community is really important to me. We live here. I work here since I work remote and I work outside of the city too. But to be able to walk through my home downtown and be able to visit places where we have local businesses and see them grow and know those faces behind the counter has really been something I've enjoyed.
Just saying that just giving back. And I think with our chamber, the big focus has been how can we get more involved in the community? How can we invest in our schools, in our local businesses, and just give back? And I think this is a great group right here. We have our board members, we have ambassadors, and we have other people that are really involved. And we're organizing community events. And when you talk about Fleece and Thank You, that was the very first event that I was part of when I came on as executive director. Tell us, can you fill us in on what Fleece and Thank You is and what you learned about it?
So I know that we're having our event this November and we're going to be making blankets for several local hospitals. And that is something that's then going to be able to be shared with children that are currently in the hospital. I also recently learned a tidbit that the blankets go with the barcode so that the children can then get a message from the individuals who made those blankets for them. And if they want, send a message back so they can build that connection there. So it's a really great organization that gives back to the children in need and their families too. Because if you have a sick child, you're facing something you never wanted to face in the first place, but to be able to have just a comfort item available to them when they're sick can make a world of difference.
And I think that's what I love. And it's something for everybody to help out with, whether it's a family coming together with their kids. I think last year we had one of the local softball teams come in, and Miss Davison was involved with it. And it's great. It's a community-wide event. And I think that's what we're working with each other as a team at the chamber to get more involved in those things. And I love that you brought that up. So your role is a Davison Chamber ambassador. Fill us in on that. For our listeners, they're learning more about what we do and how the chamber is made up. Can you tell me how you became an ambassador and what you do as an ambassador with the chamber?
Of course. So I reached out, it was last December, to become an ambassador of the program. There's an application that would need to be filled out and returned. And then that application is taken to the board for review. Once selected, you begin your process, which is really great, of getting to know the board members and the other ambassadors. And it allows you to get involved in events like Quarter Mania. That was this past March. Flip Flop 5K, we had that for the first time this year. Festival of Flags, all the connection luncheons that we have, as well as the coffee connections that are out there. And then local ribbon cuttings for local businesses and adding to that additional network so that each business is also supporting others within the community.
Yeah, and I will say, when people come to our community connection lunches, they will be greeted with the two nicest people ever. It's you and Kathy. I think you guys are a great team. You have fit right into that role, and I appreciate the ambassadors and what you all do to help make sure everything is run efficiently. I want our listeners to know that everyone that's involved in the chamber is volunteering their time. I really see value in this and want to put time into the chamber, which is putting time into our communities. Now, what do you think when you're at an event or you're at one of our lunches and people are coming in? Is there anything that you're seeing that is interesting or fun as that first welcome to the Davison Chamber that you're experiencing?
I really like doing the welcome desk because I then get to meet more people and I'm starting to recognize people and their names, which is really nice. Because when I first started, I didn't know anyone except for Kathy and yourself, Travis. To begin the process, I felt like I had to get to know people, and it's allowed me to take that opportunity and meet them and learn more about what they do in the different areas that are involved in the chamber and the different companies involved.
Yeah, which I think is great. I know for me, sometimes it's hard to walk around and talk to everybody, but yeah, it is. You're right. And when you get that chance to start getting to know someone, or you can say, "Oh, hey, I heard you just got back from vacation. Tell me about it." Or,
Hmm.
and it's also, I think, a chance for our team to plug in what they've been up to, sharing about the Clio Center for the Arts and what's going on, or getting information out in our community. And I think that's a big role that you as an ambassador play. I know for Festival Flags, you are very helpful in getting our flyers out to just let the community know what's going on. And it's every little avenue. And I know Johnny knows that too. He's been involved in quite a few things as well in the chamber. And our events wouldn't happen if it wasn't for good volunteers. And I think you play a role in that and you've jumped right in. I appreciate that so much in my position, knowing that I have people that I can count on to help out all the time.
Of course, I'm happy to help, and it's been a lot of fun. So, for those who might be interested and haven't reached out yet, do you think it's best that they reach out to you or they reach out to Johnny to get started if they want to join us
Oh
as well?
gosh. You know what? They can reach out to everybody. If you know a chamber member or something like that, people can always reach out to myself. We have the chamber phone number, which is 810-208-7888. They can go on Facebook or onto our website or come to one of our lunches and say, "Hey, I know you're an ambassador, or I know you play a role in the chamber. Ask us questions. We would love to fill anybody in." And then we can point you in a direction to even learn more by talking to someone like Melanie to see what's going on. So, Melanie, one of the things that is always interesting, especially I have young kids, and then you and your husband have a kid, and you guys are with his age enjoying things in our community as a family. What are some of the things that you guys like to do in the Davison area? Obviously, you're doing art up there in Clio, which is amazing. Have you guys experienced other things that you really enjoy?
Oh, yes. So I'm not sure how familiar you are with the Polywalks program that's at Robert Williams through Parks and Rec. That is an awesome program. We started it with our son when he was just over 1 year old. What they do is they work with basically toddlers. I think it goes up till 5 or 6, and they do a story, a hike, and a craft once a month with the children. And so it started with my husband taking him every month. Then it transitioned to my mother in law takes him now. And every time he goes into that room, they all know who he is. All of the staff do because
Oh
he's
my
been
gosh.
going for so yeah. So we really enjoyed that. We've also done a lot of other things at Lake Callis. I know when they were doing the Easter egg hunt this past year, we volunteered to put eggs together for them for the trail for that. We've also done the trail out there for the Christmas lights that they do. That's a lot of fun. We went when they had the puppy one so that you could take your dog to, because we have a little
Oh,
wiener dog and she's part of the
yeah.
family.
I love the parks. We have Abernathy Regional, which you can go hiking and play, but then you have Davison Township Parks and Rec, which is organizing all those events. I know our kids went today out to Lake Callis to do some science crafts. I've heard such wonderful things about Polywogs that it makes me jealous that I want to be able to go and be in that class and just see what they're learning and experiencing. And it's great to see that you guys are also volunteering. You're enjoying it, but then you said, "Hey, we're gonna put together some Easter eggs as
Mhm.
a family for the Easter egg hunt." The Davison Township Parks does so much for our community and plays a big role in just being active and offering stuff that I think it's great to see people getting involved in those and enjoying them, and makes me wish my kids were a little bit younger to do a few of those little things that they've outgrown. So definitely enjoy all that time that you have with your son to go to polywogs and learn about probably so many interesting things.
Yes, and we just made a bug hotel. So we had pollywogs this past Tuesday, and we all made bug hotels, and they sit outside and they attract bugs to come and live nearby. My son is very big into bugs, so his bug hotel is on display, ready for new members to join in. We also really the library, so that is something I will definitely give a shout out to. Is the library offers so many free events and programs, and they have story times, they have special events that occur, such as we did one where they brought animals on site and he was able to pet a lizard one day. He doesn't get that opportunity every day. So that was a really nice opportunity for him. And we read a lot. So to be able to have a library right in town that we can easily access is amazing.
Yeah, and these are all great things in our community. I feel the chamber just plays one small role in everything that makes Davison great. And you mentioned the library. I know I'm a slow reader, so if I check out a book, I definitely get my money's worth out of checking out that book. But I know when our son was younger, going to the story time there and enjoying that. And I know I took my daughter one time to a pottery painting class where she was able to paint it and like a glaze, and then they heated it up and we picked it up like a week later. I love that you guys are immersing yourself in so many things in the Davison area. And I am very thankful that you play a big role in the chamber and promoting us where you go to. And I think that's what our ambassador program is about. Chamber ambassadors are people that go into our community and get involved and experience things and come back and share about them and promote those things within the chamber. So, yeah, Melanie, thank you so much. Yeah, for sharing all of that. And it has been a real pleasure just getting a chance to know you a little bit more.
Thank you, Travis.
Melanie, let me just chime in here at the end. I have such an appreciation for you because you have a very similar personality to my wife in that you can offset my manic episodes and my mania very easily and quickly and without what appears to be much effort. So, for those of us that are a little bit quote unquote scatterbrained, we appreciate the heck out of you guys that can keep a handle on situations and keep us dotting our I's and crossing our T's. It has been and will continue to be a pleasure getting to know you and having you be a part of the chamber and the community at large. I love hearing about the library. I love hearing about what Parks and Rec is doing. So we appreciate you, and I know the community does as well. So thank you and keep up the great work.
Thank you both. I hope you have a great day.
Are you interested in becoming an ambassador for the Chamber? reach out to Travis or I, and we'd love to see if you'd be a good fit with our team. Thanks for listening. New episodes are out every Friday on all podcast platforms. This has been a Flip Flop Agent production. I am your host, Johnny B. Good, and until next time, support local every chance you get.